Just like before, we need two methods here. A public method to kick off the recursion and a private recursive method. So public void print nodes at distance. Here we need a single parameter, that is the distance. And after this, we need a private recursive method. So private void print nodes at distance. Here we need a node parameter, that is our root, and the distance. Now, what was the easiest case? That is when the distance equals 0. And this is our base condition. This is what terminates the recursion. So if distance equals 0, we simply print root.value and return. But what if the root is null? We need to check for that. So before doing this, we check to see if root equals null. If you're dealing with an empty tree, we don't do anything. We simply return. That's it. Now, otherwise, if we get to this point, that means the distance is greater than 0. So here we're going to recursively traverse the tree. We're going to look at the left and right children. And as we go down, we're going to decrement the distance by 1. So we call print nodes at distance. We give it root, the left child, and distance minus 1. Similarly, we're going to traverse the right subtree. So I'm going to duplicate this line and pass right child over here. So this is how we can print the nodes at a given distance from the root. Now let's implement our public method. We're going to call our private method and give it the root of the tree to start and the distance argument. Now let's test this. Back to the main class. I'm going to call tree.print nodes at distance 0. Now we should only see the root, that is 7. There you go. What if we print nodes at distance 1? We see the children, which are 4 and 9. What if we print nodes at distance 2? We get 1, 6, 8, and 10. What if we go one more level down? At distance 3, we don't see anything. What about distance 30? So our code is working properly, but what if instead of printing these nodes, we want to get them and store them in an array list? That is pretty easy. Back to the tree class. Here in our public method, I'm going to declare an array list. So a new array list of integers. Now we should pass this as an argument to our private method. So I'm going to pass that over here and we introduce the third parameter. So array list of integers, we call it list. Okay? Now, instead of printing each node, we're simply going to add it to our list. So list.add root.value. And we don't need to print it anymore. That's it. So by the time this private method finishes execution, our list is going to be populated with all these nodes. So we can simply return it over here. And that means we should change the return type of this method to array list of integers. And we should also rename the method to get nodes at distance. Always pay attention to the name of your methods. IntelliJ is asking me if I want to rename the private method as well. Let's do that. Okay. Now we have a compilation error here. For whatever reason, IntelliJ couldn't rename these two references. So I'm going to fix this manually. Get nodes at distance. We have another compilation error because we're not passing the list argument. All right. So we're done with this. Now back to the main class. Let's get the nodes at distance 1, store the result in this list, and then do a for each loop on this list. So for item in list, we're going to print the item. Take a look. There you go, 4 and 9. Next, we're going to look at level order traversal.